Like, you're so used to taking it. You're so used to taking it the traditional way. Like, that shit is bad. Because I would say that shit is bad because the traditional route you taking, it may be safe, but the problem with that is you not following what you need to follow intuitively. Like, you following what everybody else do. And everybody keep making the same mistakes and pretending like they not. And that's the problem. Is you gotta follow intuitively what needs to be followed to get to where you getting. That's the only way. Because other than that, you delay yourself. Like, you delaying the process. You delaying everything. Like, if you don't take that leap of faith, if you don't have faith in what you doing, like, you might as well just stop. You might as well just stop. You might as well. Because without faith, nothing works. Like, your faith is your fortune. Period. Like, it has to work. You got to have that mindset. It has to work. You can't follow what everybody else is doing. Especially when you intuitive. You can't follow that. You can't follow that. You got to for real be like, yo, which way am I going? And you got to trust the way you going. You got to know, like, it has to be the way. Like you got to be so powerful in what you doing that you going to make it the way. Like, you going to make sure it become the way. Because there's no option B. There's no other option. That's the only, it has to. It has to. And the universe do something magnificent when that happens. Either everything work out the way it's supposed to, or it works out even better than what it was supposed to. But you have to get all the way to the end to figure that out, to see that. To see that. Like, you really got to take a chance. Like, you really got to take, I don't want to say a risk, because it's not fear-based when you do stuff like this. You may feel a little insecurity, but you should be at peace with yourself, period, point blank, regardless of what anybody else think. You should really be at peace with yourself and feel good, like, oh, so-and-so might be mad about my decisions, but I can sleep better at night now. Like, now I'm at ease. Like, when you don't got that stress on you, when you really at ease and you really like, yeah, I feel good. Like, you might not feel good about the situation as in somebody else, like your mans or some, like, but you feel good about it. Like, you feel good. And when I mean feel good, like, this got nothing to do with being selfish. Like, this ain't got nothing to do with being selfish. Nothing to do with being evil, ill intent, none of that. None of that. And sometimes you might feel like when you make decisions for yourself, some people might make you feel like you being selfish and stuff. But you gotta discern. Like, you have to discern. You have to know what's best for you. And you have to do what's best for you. And I mean that in the most respectable way possible. Like, you don't gotta hurt others. You ain't gotta, like, put yourself first. And if it's gonna hurt somebody else, as in you doing it purposely to hurt them, like, listen, you gotta take the leap of faith and you gotta trust, knowing that it's going to work out. You have to know it's going to work out. Can't be taking a traditional route sometimes. So not everybody meant to work a 9 to 5. Things that might be easy for the next person might not be easy for the other person. Like, if I wanted to be a celebrity music artist, I might be so good at music that it's actually easier for me to perform versus somebody who they not good at music. They can't perform. So while I'm working a 9 to 5, my brain is like, I'm dying from boredom, struggling, when I could just be out there in the world doing what I love. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like this shit. Like, you understand what I'm saying? A 9 to 5 might be perfect for somebody that's looking for a 9 to 5. But a person that's creative and they want more than a 9 to 5, they got, like, multiple talents. They see themselves doing multiple things. And they, like, to spread out in certain areas, 9 to 5 might not be for them. They might get money a different way. They might get money from multiple sources of income and be fine with that. They might get a little here and a little there and a little over there. Like, and they put it all together and it works out for them. And they happy like that. Some people, they don't like that. They don't feel secure. Some people want the pensions, the benefits, the health, all that. They just want all of that. And they feel safe. They feel good. Everybody different. Some people don't trust pensions. Some people don't fuck with that. And that's not a problem. But you just got to know which way you going. You just got to know which way you going for you. Intuitively. Like, intuitively just know what's right. Which way you going to go. And then you also got to develop the mindset of either way I pick, it's going to work out. Why? Because you're going to have a pure heart on this journey, right? Regardless, right? You're going to make up your mind to be pure-hearted, and you're going to be like, all right. And then it's always going to work out for you either way you pick it. Even if you got to spin the block again. Even if you got to spin the block again. Even if you got delay. Guess what? It's going to work out for the better anyway. The best attitude is an attitude of gratitude. Period. So it's up to you on what you want to do for real. Like, but the question is, what do you want? What do you want? I advise anything that takes you from your heart's desire, don't pursue it. If it's going to take you out your way from your heart's desire, don't pursue it. If you know you're about to get that job, and you ain't going to have no time for yourself, no time for your family, no time for nothing you love to do, because you're going to be straight working, and you're going to be tired, don't even pursue it. I don't care how much the money is. Don't even pursue it. Because with that, it's going to come misery. The checks might start looking nice, but then once you went too deep, what you going to do? You just going to up and out of there? Sometimes that's what people like to think. Some people, they actually got the balls to do it. Some people don't. Some people get comfortable. They get comfortable in they misery. I would say it. They get comfortable in their misery. And they get stuck. Because when that money start coming in, guess what else come with it? With most people, the debt. And then you just can't up and leave a job because you still locked in that debt. You still locked in that mortgage. You still locked in all them bills, the car notes, all that. Like, all that. So it's like, how you really gonna leave now? Like, people... It's like very rare. Like, if you get out that situation, once you in it, that's very that's all determination and everything. Like, that's pure focus. That's the universe at its best. Because in reality, when you get hit with the misery and that shit got you on clock like that, listen. What you think? You gonna need some faith to get up out of that. Or else you just gonna let the cycle repeat and you gonna keep going through it. You gonna keep going through the same exact thing. Like, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That's really ridiculous. That's really ridiculous. And we not about to live that type of life of struggle. We're not about to live that type of life in lack. None of us. Like, I want you to decide today, my heart gonna be pure. So that means anything I decide to do is gonna work out for my better good. And that's how it's gonna happen every time. But today's message is, do not do traditional shit because that's what everybody else is doing. You gotta go the intuitive path. If traditional is for you, you go traditional. But if you know intuitively in your heart you could be doing better, and your heart needs to be doing what you're passionate about, like, that's gonna heal your whole body. Like, you need to do that. You gotta put your ego aside sometimes and be patient. Put your ego aside. Fuck the newest car. Fuck the biggest house. Like, put your ego aside. Can you survive? Can you afford food? Can you live comfortably? You understand? Put your ego aside, because them people already rich. You feel me? They already comfortable. They already got their whole life established. They already got all of that. So watch who you talk to, who you conversate with, and where you spend your money at. And be smart about it. When you get the newest car, you get that because that's what you wanted. That's what you desire. But you don't do that shit to impress nobody else. When you get the biggest house, you do that because that's what you deserve. You understand? That's what you desire. You can't be in your heart know that, oh, you don't need this big of a house. You ain't even got no kids. It's just you. And you got like 15, you got to get a house with 15 bedrooms, 3 pools, 5 floors. Like, come on, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? That's ego. Ego. That's ego. Best attitude is the attitude of gratitude, and everything else gonna follow right up behind it. Right up behind it. And in that way, when you do get these things like this luxury, it's going to be natural. It's going to come to you. It's going to just happen for you. You ain't got to be in debt for it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You ain't going to have to be in debt. It's already going to be paid off. And you still going to have money coming in to do what you love. Like, that's what you want. That's what you want. So when you thinking about that traditional route and you thinking about that money, like, you really gotta be smart. Like, are you moving into this with your ego to make people gel, like you trying to flex? Or you moving in this to, like, really do better with yourself, like, to, like, really do better? Because once you get into that, it's your job to stay focused and stay on top. Because there's going to be a lot of distractions sometimes. But you got to know the roadmap. Even if you just stay for a year or a few months, you got to be on top of that. You yourself, not nobody else. You. So it's up to you. If you take the traditional route, a regular 9 to 5, that offer you the little benefits and shit, or you going to have to follow your dreams and be intuitive and take a leap of faith. I understand people got bills. I understand, like, shit got to get paid for. But if you into that job, then just know that, like, all right, you going to have to do double work. Because now you still got to be able to, all right, after work, after you clock out, you got to clock in for you now. And that's nobody, like, you can't be like, oh, I'm too busy clocking in for somebody else. That's why I can't reach my dreams. Nah. Now that you know, you're responsible for your dreams now. Not your 9 to 5, not your family members, not your friends. You gonna have to clock in for you. So ain't nothing wrong with the traditional route. But if you know you ain't gotta go the traditional route and you keep wasting your time going traditional routes, signing up for programs, going to schools, like you doing everything else but following your dreams. Like, that's a problem. That's a problem. Major problem. Major problem. That's not gonna sit right. It ain't gonna sit right. It ain't gonna sit right. It ain't gonna sit right. So you decide what you gonna do. And as long as you got a pure heart, it's gonna work out every single time.